Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk about something quickly. I want to address something I think is very helpful for a sec for people. So I want to discuss or touch on 5 skills that, from my experience, of 5 services that, from my experience, can always guarantee you $250 and above, you know, online every single month, right? So there is this misconception that you actually need a laptop before you can start earning money online. Yeah, there are some skills that you actually do need a laptop to start out with, but there's so many also that all you need is a phone, right? All you need is a phone. So I want to discuss those. I'm going to touch on 5 of them. So yeah, let's get into it. Firstly, one skill that I think that a lot of people do not pay attention to is content creating and video editing, right? So I mean, from my experience, these guys actually earn good money. So since the turn of the year, I have worked with a few of them for my personal brand and then also for a client's business. So you know basically, the one that is with me at the moment comes in once a week, and at the end of the month means comes in 4 times a month. And then I presently pay her um, 150, right, $150. And then in my conversations with her, is I mean, evidently she's told me, right, that she also gets to work with other clients. Every month she gets to work with at least like 4 or 5 clients, sometimes more, right? And basically helping to create content and then editing them and stuff. And then this lady, let's not do her calculations, but like if we want to do that, you can be sure that this lady is earning, she will do around over $300-400 every month. And if you convert that to naira for my Nigerian audience, you would see that she can be guaranteed to do around 400, 500,000 naira monthly. All she shoots with is her phone, right? And she uses CapCut, right? CapCut, right? And to learn these skills, not hard. This same YouTube, you can actually learn them, or find somebody who knows how to use CapCut and actually ask the person to help you out with with learning, right? I think that a lot of times is people are just not curious enough. If you're curious enough, you would know, right? Instagram recently added a tool. I think it's called Instagram Edit, right? Something like that, or Real Edit, which is, I mean, I've seen big brands use them. I think I was on Instagram yesterday, and I saw the great Chelsea Football Club. Posted a video, and under the video, it had something to show that this video was actually shot and edited on Instagram Real Edit tool, right? So it's also an app, a software that you can actually use in editing, and it works on your phone, right? And you'll be shocked that if you actually learn how to use these tools well, and then you start to reach out to people and tell people, oh, I do this, I do that, you'll be shocked that there is a lot of people actually need these services. A lot of people are actually busy doing stuff, and they actually want to start creating content. But the reason they're not creating is because they don't know how to edit, or they don't want to learn to edit because they don't have the time. So imagine if you can take that burden off them, you can make good money. And that's why I think, before I move to the next one, let me quickly touch on this, that when it comes to money making, you must realize that before you ask yourself, or before you start bothering yourself, or before you start complaining that you don't have money, you're not seeing money and stuff, the question you need to ask yourself is, do I have a solution that I can bring to people's problem, right? There's so many problems out there at the moment, so many problems. You have to sit down and ask yourself, or do a research. What are the problems that, for example, business owners are facing? What are the problems that freelancers are facing? What are the problems that 9 to 5, maybe MDs or business leaders, business owners, business leaders. What are the problems they are facing? These are, like, the reason I'm mentioning these things is because I'm looking at people who can pay you well, right? What are the problems they are facing? Some of them actually want to do stuff, they just don't have the time, or they don't have the time to start, or they don't have the time to do it. And if they find somebody who can, you know, who can take this burden off them, trust me, they are going to pay you well for it, right? So you don't have to go start learning software development. You don't have to go start learning, cloud engineering, cybersecurity. I'm not saying this. I mean, these skills are not good. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are so many ones that you can start with your phone, and then you can scale from there. You understand that? Number two, right, is community management. I think that it doesn't get a lot of mention, but in the brands and the companies that I've worked with, I know for sure by experience that community managers actually get paid well. What do community managers do? Basically, they help to create a family for a brand or a business. When I say family, sometimes, most of the times, a digital family, but also sometimes it goes beyond being digital to also, on-site a family. So it helps to build a family, a community that belongs to a brand, that trusts a brand, that speaks for a brand. And trust me, every business that is starting today is looking towards community, because like community is even the best way to start a business. Like, go and look at the top brands, right? In the past 10 years, top companies in the past 10 years, all of them are big on community. And that's why if you go on LinkedIn or you go on Google and you search for top community leaders, you would see find names and you see how well these guys are paid, right? So I think it's a skill that, from my experience, also has low entry, and like I said, you can be guaranteed to make $250 upwards, right? Because also it allows you, just like content creation and video editing, it allows you to take more than one job. Right. So, for example, you're a community manager. Let's say the brand that you're working with has a Telegram community and a WhatsApp community. You're not there every minute of the day or every hour of the day. Do you get my point? You're not there every minute of the day or every hour of the day. No. What you're doing is engaging people. And at the same time, you can say, for example, let's assume that you learn community management, and then you start managing a brand, WhatsApp and Telegram. You can actually have the same way you can have different groups or community on WhatsApp. It can actually be for the brands that you work with, and then you can always engage. What thing you just need to do or learn to do is you need to be able to learn how to multitask, right? So your mind and your brain must be working, right? Your mind and your brain must be working, but it's not something that cannot be done. Do you get me? It's not something that cannot be done. I know a community manager who earns 200,000 naira with a brand, and also has like an agency, an NGO that she works with, and she earns another 300 there, and also has like a startup that is paying her 120. By the time you put all of that money together, we're talking good money, right? So you can be sure that at the end of the month, I'm going to do $250. If you put in the work, you can be sure with just your phone. Don't forget, we're saying just your phone. And then the third is content writing and copywriting, right? So, for that, first-hand experience guarantees you way more. I started content writing with my phone. I mentioned that in my last video. I used to write with WPS, right? And then I was able to like make good enough money for myself, just with my phone before I got my laptop, right? So it's basically a skill that is fundamental and important to any service that anybody wants to offer online today. Brands hiring content writers, because content writers can also do the job of content marketing, right? If learned well, you can actually even do social media management, right? You can actually still do social media management, right? So content writing, when people hear content writing, the first thing people are thinking about is articles, blogs, copies. But also brands are looking for social media managers. You can hold that role. Brands are looking for copywriters. You can hold that role, right? Is a skill that if you learn, right? Like I think Tunde Onakoya was the one that mentioned that's Chess in Slum, a man. He's the one that talked about that if you learn to write, actually you can never go broke. And I totally agree. It's been holding me for the past 4 5 years. If you learn to write, it's impossible to go broke, right? Because like you have that ability to convince people to either hire you, or that ability to convince people to pay you, right? To give you money for stuff, right? And then you can move from there to uh, um, service to offering that service on Upwork, right, or on Fiverr, or on LinkedIn, right. The first time I got an offer on LinkedIn as a writer, it was an inbound lead, right. I didn't even have to pitch to anyone. I just kept showing up, and then somebody came to my DM to ask me what my rate is. Content writing is something that is huge, and you can start with your phone. Yeah, maybe at a point you would need to get a laptop, but yeah, your phone is very, very good to start with. I was talking to a friend of mine. If you check my video, the previous videos, there was a video that I shot with Adebayo Kolawole Samuel, who is a Forbes contributor, a friend of mine, and we're having this conversation. We talked about how that till date, even though he's a Forbes contributor, he still writes with his phone, right? He still writes with his phone. That's somebody who has made good money, good way for himself. So I think that is something to that is something I usually recommend to people. Find a way to learn it. Find people who know this stuff and who are willing to teach you. Find resources online, and then sit down with it. You can be sure, that you will make over $50 monthly. I held the class on it recently, and I remember very well that when we finished, I saw an opening and I shared with people in the group, and then one of my students applied and got the gig, and then also told me that in the space of that week she also got another. So I think that the beauty of content writing, which is same with every other skill that I'm sharing, every other service that I'm sharing in this video, is that it allows you to take on multiple jobs, right? It allows you to take on multiple jobs. You don't have to sit down with one, except you find one that is paying well. But if that's not the case, it allows you to sit down with one and sit down with it well and make good money for yourself. So we've talked about content creation and video editing. We've talked about community management. We've talked about content writing. So number 4 is website testing and review. Some of you don't know about this, but if you go on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, you would see that there are clients who have a website, they want you to test the website. So one of the easiest money I have made online, right? Where a client sent me a website and said, go through this website, and I want you to make recommendations and reviews. What are the things that you think should not be there, and what are the things that you think should be there as a user, right? So simple. And I went through it, I made recommendations, and I got paid, $50. Simple, soft, right? It's a skill, it's a service. Look into it. Website testing and reviews. You can always help. Though with that, you might need to learn a few things about websites, around the website building, designing. You don't need to be. I'm not saying you have to be a website designer. Like, try and understand the theoretical aspect, and also you as a user who visits websites always want to pay attention to stuff, and then you can start pitching that and start offering that. And then lastly, brand and product naming. Yeah, brand and product naming. You help people come up with brand name ideas, and then you get paid for it. Basically, that's what brand and product naming does. So I think I will attach for this. I will attach something right to this video. So basically, there are clients who want you to, or who want to start businesses. They don't know what to call their businesses. It might sound foreign to you if you are a Nigerian or an African, but trust me, to the global world is a thing, because they take branding very seriously. You see it under writing and translation, or brand design, or brand identity design on Upwork. So, right, it helps you. They want to start a business, you don't know what to call the business. They usually would come on freelance platforms, and they want freelancers who can help them brainstorm ideas, come up with ideas, names that are not trademarked, that are available, and have all the social media handles available in different parts of the world. So you're looking at America, you're looking at Australia, you're looking at Canada, you're looking at Britain, you're looking at Germany, Italy, and around the world. So these are like 5 different skills that you can learn and start offering with your phone, right? I hope this helps you, and I hope you go back to pick one of these things and sit down with it properly. And trust me, if you do, you'll be shocked at how your life can change for the good. So thank you for watching till the end. take our time to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. Also, you can let me know in the comments what are the other things you want me to discuss, in subsequent YouTube videos. And yes, we'll look into it and I will create more videos for you guys. Cheers.